Friends, and welcome to our nightly meditation practice. I just finished my Zen class, which I was the teacher tonight, and we talked about my learnings and studies and understanding of Tao's influence on Zen Buddhism. And I'm going to share a little bit of that with you guys tonight, if anyone's interested. So anyway, as I always do, I will start by paying homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So again, thank you for joining me tonight, and I'm going to give a brief discussion of what I talked about tonight and what I have learned about Taoism. Anyone who's been following me understands that I've been taking a course on the Perfect Enlightenment Sutra through Buddha Dharma University, and it was a challenge to me. It was a challenge to me intellectually, religiously, philosophically, because I felt like it wasn't teaching Buddhism, it was teaching Taoism. And while I had nothing against Taoism, it was not my religion. I consider myself a Buddhist first and foremost. But I've learned some things, and I have discovered some complementary aspects of Taoism and Buddhism. And I hope that my understanding of them will continue to awaken me and make me a better person. That is why I meditate. That is why I study the Dharma, in order to be a better person. And as I told my class tonight, my practice group that I was practicing with, as I told them, when Mason comes and asks me, "Daddy, why are you meditating?" I tell him every night to be a better dad. And I don't just mean on being a better dad, I mean being a better person, being a better friend, being a better teacher, being a better father, being a better husband, being a better person in general towards other people. That's why I practice. That's why I meditate. That's why I study the Dharma. So what have I learned? In studying the Tao, as I discussed a little bit last night, I talked about the absence and presence concepts of the Tao. But what I particularly wanted to talk about in my class tonight was, what's the difference between enlightenment in a Theravada sense and enlightenment in a Daoist sense? And so what I shared with my practice group tonight was the following. I thought I had my gallery open to this already. Bear with me just 1 second. Okay, now I'm ready. So, in a Theravada Buddhist sense, these 4 planes of liberation, as it is expressed in this graphic here, are actually the 4 levels of enlightenment, or those steps towards becoming fully liberated. So there's a stream enterer, a once returner, a non-returner, and an arhat, all of which are defined by how many fetters are abandoned. Fetters are those things that bind us. Fetter is something that binds us, much like handcuffs or a ball and chain. So fetters bind us to the cycle of samsara. And as we abandon these fetters, we become more and more enlightened until we are liberated. And so in abandoning the first three fetters, identity, view, doubt in the Buddha, and that ascetic or ritual rules will somehow save us. As we abandon those, we attain a first stage of enlightenment, or a stream enter, or a sotapanna. As we improve upon those and really begin to destroy better more of those sensual desire, ill wills, getting closer to becoming a non-returner, and more definitively abandon that identity, we become a once returner. And then, as you see on the graphic, a non-returner or an arahant is able to abandon even the five higher fetters. That was the enlightenment that I knew of before. So what is the enlightenment in the Tao? Well, that's what I shared with my class tonight, and this is what I'm going to share with you guys tonight. So enlightenment in the Tao, and this is all from the Tao Te Ching. Enlightenment, as is defined in chapter 16 of the Tao Te Ching, is, in the middle of the page, you'll see, to understand constancy is called enlightenment. Understanding constancy in the universe, in the cosmos. Here in 22, it's about giving up self-identity. So in the middle of the page, you'll see, give up self-reflection and you're soon enlightened. Give up self-definition and you're soon apparent. Give up self-promotion and you're soon proverbial. Give up self-esteem and you're soon perennial. Simply give up contention and soon nothing in all beneath heaven contends with you. It was hardly empty talk when the ancients declared, in yielding is completion. Once you perfect completion, you returned home to it all. Chapter 33 of the Tao Te Ching says, to know people is wisdom, but to know yourself is enlightenment. And this one, chapter 52, I like a lot. If you scroll all the way down, or you look all the way down towards the bottom of the second paragraph from the bottom. Seeing the small is called enlightenment, and abiding in the gentle strength. Building radiance, return to enlightenment, then you're beyond all harm. This is the cultivation of constancy. And finally, 55. This is the one that I like a lot here. Embody integrity's abundance, and you're like a vibrant child. Hornets and vipers can't bite, savage beast can't maul, and fierce birds can't claw. Bones supple and muscles tender, but still gripping firmly, knowing nothing of male and female mingling, and yet aroused. This is the utmost essence. Wailing all day without getting hoarse. This is the utmost harmony. To understand harmony is called constancy, and to understand constancy is called enlightenment. So those are some of the things I shared with my class, and some things that I wanted to share a little bit more of. I also wanted to share, and I mentioned this last night, and I didn't talk about it, but so in the first koan by the No Gate Gate, or woman, woman's eye, woman. Anyway, the no-gate gate, the first koan is, does a dog have Buddha nature? To which the master replied, Wu, which is so many times translated wrong into English as to no. But Buddha nature in a Daoist sense is that everything is part of the Tao. If it is part of the Tao, it has what has now become called Buddha nature. But in Daoist sense, it was the way. And so when the question was asked, does a dog have Buddha nature? The master responded, Wu, which is absence. And that is all things spring forth from absence. Everything that's present in the Tao comes from absence. So the answer to his question was, does a dog have Buddha nature? Absence. Everything springs from absence. Buddha nature is absence. So there's wisdom there. And as I've mentioned before, it's not really Buddhist. It's not. It's Daoist. And there are concentric circles, and there are places where Taoism and Buddhism overlap. There are places where they do not. But understanding that helps me understand Zen. And I have learned a lot this semester with Buddha Dharma University about understanding Zen. So that's my discussion on the Tao. And with that, we will meditate for 15 minutes tonight. I already had a 15-minute meditation with my Zen group. And it's 10 o'clock here already in downtown Panama City. So we're going to just meditate a little while longer and call it a night. But thank you guys for joining me. As we do each night, we will hold our meditation, and then we will end with the bodhicitta prayer. So if I can get my computer to work here, I have a very appropriate silent meditation screen for tonight. So again, we will begin with 3 bells and end with 1 bell in 15 minutes. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you on the other side. The Bodhicitta Prayer. With a wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Enthused by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind for full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain and dispel the miseries of the world. Thank you for practicing with me, for meditating with me tonight, and I hope I'll see you again tomorrow night. Good night, everyone.